The story begins with Claire, a woman from a quiet neighborhood, was anything but ordinary. Her deep love for Bengal tigers made her stand out. Despite having 2 Bengal tigers at home, a fact that surprised many, she cared for them with great skill and had all the right legal papers. Claire dedicated her life to raising these magnificent creatures, but her neighbors thought she was making a risky choice. They worried she was endangering herself with such powerful animals. But then, something amazing happened that made everyone rethink their doubts. From behind their fences, the neighbors whispered as they watched Claire sitting calmly in her garden, keeping an eye on her 2 tigers, Audrey and Nova. Audrey, with her striking orange stripes, was powerful and fierce, while Nova, a rare white Bengal, had a commanding presence. Though they worried, Claire knew that if her neighbors could see the special bond she had with these majestic creatures, their fears would melt away. Claire's journey with tigers began from a simple curiosity. She had worked as an administrative assistant for years, feeling bored and unfulfilled. One day, while flipping through the local newspaper, she saw an ad for a tiger training school. The idea of working with tigers sparked something inside her. That small spark quickly turned into a deep passion. Claire decided to leave her dull job and dive into learning everything she could about caring for these magnificent animals. Her curiosity soon blossomed into a true love for tigers. She knew that working with such powerful creatures came with risks, but the joy and rewards were worth it. Claire threw herself into this new world, studying and training tirelessly. She dreamed of making a difference in the lives of these big cats. Eventually, Claire decided to turn her dream into reality by opening a small sanctuary for tigers in her backyard. Setting up the sanctuary was no easy task. Claire faced numerous legal challenges and hurdles. Many people were skeptical and worried about the safety of keeping tigers so close to home. But Claire was determined. She worked hard to meet all the legal requirements and safety standards. After a lot of effort, she finally got the approval she needed to keep Bengal tigers in her backyard. Claire built a spacious and secure enclosure where the tigers could live comfortably. She created a safe haven for tiger cubs in need of help. As she watched her sanctuary come to life, Claire felt a profound sense of purpose and fulfillment. It was clear to her that this was her true calling. However, not everyone shared her enthusiasm. Many of her neighbors thought it was wrong to keep such powerful animals in captivity. They whispered among themselves, worried that it was only a matter of time before something went wrong. They were concerned that the tigers might pose a danger to Claire or to others. Despite their concerns, Claire was determined to prove that her sanctuary was a safe and loving environment for the tigers. Claire and her team were passionate about educating people about wildlife conservation. They knew that the tigers couldn't be released into the wild, and providing a sanctuary, even a small one, was the best way to ensure their well-being and survival. Claire worked hard to share her knowledge and show others how important it was to protect these magnificent creatures. Despite her efforts, many people still didn't understand why Claire chose to live so closely with dangerous animals. They struggled to see past their fears and misconceptions. Claire knew that educating the public was crucial, so she organized events to invite her neighbors to visit the sanctuary. One day, Claire arranged a special event and invited all her neighbors to see her sanctuary. It was her chance to show them the reality of living with tigers and to share her love for these animals. On that morning, as Claire opened the gate to the tiger's enclosure, a small group of neighbors gathered nearby. Their curiosity piqued. Some were still doubtful, while others hoped nothing would go wrong. The atmosphere was tense as Claire stepped into the yard. Audrey and Nova, the tigers, began to circle around her, their large bodies moving with surprising grace. The neighbors watched, holding their breath, expecting something alarming to happen. To their amazement, both tigers stopped in front of Claire. She knelt down and gave each one a warm hug. Instead of acting aggressively, Audrey and Nova gently placed their large paws on Claire's shoulders. The neighbors were stunned. They saw the powerful animals showing affection and trust. For the first time, they understood the deep bond between Claire and her tigers. Claire felt a deep sense of triumph and peace. The murmurs and doubts from her neighbors faded away, replaced by a respectful silence. Claire knew that in the presence of Audrey and Nova, all the negativity from the outside world disappeared. With her tigers, she found both a sense of purpose and inner calm. As Claire lay down beside her tigers, the garden was filled with calm. Audrey moved closer and gently placed her paw on Claire's shoulder, as if offering a silent hug. At that moment, Claire thought back to her journey with tigers, starting with Simba, her first cub. Simba had come to her just 2 years after she opened her sanctuary. From the moment she first held him, Claire felt a strong sense of duty. Simba was tiny and delicate, needing careful attention. Claire spent countless nights nursing him, and their bond grew stronger every day. Simba's presence in Claire's life made her love for Bengal tigers even stronger. When she first saw Simba, he was just a tiny cub, and from that moment, her passion for tigers grew. Simba was playful and brought so much joy to Claire's sanctuary. His lively spirit kept everyone smiling and motivated Claire to continue her mission of protecting these amazing animals. Claire started her sanctuary with Simba alone, but as time passed, she decided to bring in a new cub, Nova. Nova was only 2 weeks old, a white Bengal tiger with striking blue eyes. Simba and Nova quickly became best friends, and their bond was heartwarming to see. However, Simba faced serious health problems and couldn't survive. In 2007, Simba passed away, leaving Claire heartbroken. He was her first tiger, and losing him was a huge blow. Nova also felt the loss deeply, becoming quieter and less playful without Simba. One day, Claire got an urgent call from people living near the forest. They had found a tiger in bad condition and needed help. Claire knew she had to act quickly, so she rushed to the scene. There, she found Audrey, a tiger in critical shape. Claire managed to get Audrey to her sanctuary just in time. Her team and Claire worked hard to take care of Audrey, giving her the treatment she needed. Thankfully, Audrey started to recover and was no longer in danger. With Claire's care, Audrey began to thrive, and Nova took on a new role, acting as a caring friend to the recovering tiger. The sanctuary, once again, was filled with joy and energy. Claire's passion for educating others about tigers was renewed. Even though Simba was no longer with her, Claire felt a strong duty to continue her work. She started opening the sanctuary to more visitors, eager to share her knowledge and love for these incredible animals. In the present, as Claire lay with Audrey and Nova, she felt a deep connection to the tigers she had raised. They were not just pets to her, they were family. Despite her dedication, some people still didn't understand her devotion to big cats. Claire remained committed to her work, always putting safety first. She followed strict protocols to protect both the tigers and the people who came to visit. However, her neighbors remained doubtful, often casting worried glances her way. Claire understood their fear. After all, Audrey and Nova were large, powerful animals, and even Claire had been startled when she first heard a tiger's roar up close. But Claire had a special bond with these tigers that few people truly understood. Her critics couldn't ignore the deep trust and affection between Claire and her tigers. The way Audrey and Nova let Claire hug them and kiss their noses showed a bond built on love and understanding. Over time, even the most skeptical neighbors began to see Claire in a new light. They realized she wasn't just a woman with dangerous pets. She was someone who had dedicated her life to caring for and protecting these magnificent creatures. While she couldn't give them the freedom of the wild, Claire had created a safe and loving home where they could live happily. Claire's commitment to her tigers shone brightly in all she did. Driven by her love for these animals, she worked tirelessly to educate others about their importance. Claire wanted to change how people saw tigers, showing them that these creatures were not threats but amazing animals deserving of respect and care. Through her hard work and dedication, Claire hoped to inspire others to appreciate and protect these majestic beings. That's all for today. Now it's your turn to share your thoughts about this story. What's the next story you'd like to know? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of these amazing videos on The Wild Wonder.